I should be back. I don't know how quick the chat will catch up. Yep, I did. I had to do. I went ahead and ended that stream and started again. I did not get any notice of drop frames or anything, so I'm not real sure what that was all about. Huh. Anyway, I wasn't supposed to have that Pokemon, I guess. This is not uncommon during the day, you know, from our, it's not necessarily Streamlabs, because our internet can fluctuate during business hours and stuff. It's not unusual for that to happen. I am back. But it bugs the hell out of me. I archive these streams to YouTube, and I hate it when I have multiple sections. I usually don't. I'll archive them, but I usually don't make those public. Well, now that is just a nice looking bobbin. Find another one here. Let me check my music. Yeah, it's still going. You know, I really should. I wouldn't have that music if I had lost the internet. So that might have been Streamlabs or Twitch. Anyway, I want to spin this Blueface Luster braid, but like I said, I don't have a picture of it, and I don't want to start the braid until I get the picture. I forgot I had a sales receipt for this. Oh, I bought it in May. I apologize. It's not all. This is the youngest stuff in my stash. Oh, yesterday I was saying something about this was young stuff in my stash, and Guitar Nut asked me what's the oldest, and I was gonna bring that. I'm pretty sure it's some silk. A braid of silk is the oldest in my stash. Paid $9 for this. 4 ounces. I'll have to adjust the take up. When I put these wood bobbins on, they're heavier. I need a little more take up for the heavier bobbins. Well, the spinning wheel that I did not get through the auction sold for $200. Definitely out of my budget since I don't need another spinning wheel, but I don't know, I'm not ever going to know who got it, but I certainly hope a spinner got it. Okay. This is the second ball, and I'm going to spin a third ball, and each ball is 4 ounces, so I had 8 ounces. So I'm going to spin this entire ball on here, and I'll have 2 of these bobbins. And then I'm going to, on a third bobbin, this is 4 ounces, I'm going to spin this, and I'm going to apply these together probably, these together probably half and half. And then try and apply a self of this color. And then I'll have those 2 yarns to work with together. So I can do it that way. I can, try and apply half of this and half of this with the braid. Or I can apply all of this with the braid and spin the second ball on 2 bobbins. It's just a little more sure that things will come out right if I use half of this ball on one bobbin and half on another. And I have the 2 bobbins. I have 5 bobbins total for the aura. So that leaves me 1 to apply on. It's, it doesn't matter. It can do it either way, really. It really doesn't matter. But, for a lot of years when I was spinning, I didn't think about yarns together. And lately, I have like 3 more not fibers, but projects, yarns that go together, pulled. So there's even more than 3 fibers. Where I want the resulting yarn or yarns to go together, right? I haven't done that, and I'm on this kick right now where I've already pulled more that way. So it's kind of cool making yarns specifically to go together. Good morning, Guitar Nut. I was just talking about you. Did your ears burn? I was saying that you were asking what's my oldest and fiber in my stash yesterday, and I figured it out. It's a silk braid, and I meant to get it out and I forgot. So I will try and remember to get it out and have it for future streams. But yeah, it's seriously a long time ago, and I know why. So, because the person who died it was a fantastic dyer, sort of a acquaintance. We knew her, met her once. I'd say we because it was my daughter and I. And she's not dying any. She's not doing any kind of fiber work anymore. So I put it in my stash when she was at her height of business, and just never wanted to use it up. Right? It was like a personal. Oh man, this is a special fiber. But this is my youngest. This blend that I'm doing, I bought in May. I mean, it's just a couple months old. That's why you asked what the oldest was. Yeah. Because we had already determined this was the youngest. So I have the first bobbin done. I just finished it. I don't know when you got on and all that. I just restarted the stream because it seemed to have gone offline for some reason. Oops, the joint is not working here. Come on. This is too much pulling. Let me see if I can poke catch, because the last time I tried, that's what threw the stream off crazy. So this is just to see if it works. Seems to have worked. How's your day been so far, Guitar Nut? Jane Wayne's been here with me. She's been spinning, she says, for her morning spinning. And Dandy joined us a little bit. Don't know if she's still here or not. Really know if they're still here. You had a busy work day so far? Getting ready to apply while you listen to the next meeting. There you go. Oh man, I'll tell you what. Sometimes I'm very envious of internet employment. I don't know. I could never have done my job that way. And I'm not so sure how I would have felt about sitting at a computer all day, or, the periods of time you have to. But fortunately, I don't have to worry about it. I just sit at a computer when I choose to and stream. My son-in-law has done UPS work at home ever since the pandemic, and they got it all set up. He's an internet expediter, and he worked at home starting with the pandemic and still does. They came along finally and said, well, the building you used to be in is being put to other use. All those who have been working at home now officially will be working from home all the time. The companies just sort of all of a sudden realized that they could do a little bit of overhead reduction by making you work at your office. And, I mean, it's your own place, right? Make your own place an office. And, I'm sure that was met with pros and cons, right? Yeah, right. Has some great pros, but some serious cons. So you know from experience what I'm talking about, and you really miss the social of the office, and I believe that is also true. Um, you know, He works for UPS for years, and that alone is kind of unheard of. A lot of people don't. They draw from the college community, and a lot of them don't stick around. We have Amazon Hub here. They have two of them, I think, that draw from the college community. And, of course, those jobs, people don't stay. They go on after they're done with their school. So, yeah, our airport is it's a UPS hub. I mean, it's a big deal. And so there's a lot of support jobs around that from our community. So, put yourself on alert, Guitar Nut, so you can pay attention to the meeting. Do your job. I'm glad you stopped by and said hello. See, I don't think they're letting people who are streaming catch Pokemon. They can't know this. I don't know. Can they do that? I never catch it. Of course, I never use anything other than a standard ball. That might be part of it. I may be talking about this for the next couple streams as I get different people's opinions and that sort of thing, but I'll start today. I need ideas for how to display skeins of yarn in a limited amount of space. I am going to share a booth with Woolly Knob. They are a fiber mill, and they sell fiber. And they have a big booth, and I already talked to them when I went to the last fiber fair and asked them if I could do that in September when we go up to Ohio to a fiber fair that I like to go to. And they said they'd be fine. They're more than happy to do, part of the space. I'll have a part of it somewhere with a table and chair. And so, it'll be card table size. I mean, it's not going to be, I don't think they're going to let me do a bigger than that. I'm not going to take a bigger than that. If they're going to let me use bigger than that, they have to provide it. But obviously baskets are a given, right? The yarn will be in a skein, but I can make the skein wound up tight ball kind of thing. So baskets is one idea. But I know people are going to want to look at it. So I don't know. I still am kicking this around because I also have another thing. I have yarns that I don't care if they get handled a lot, and I have some yarns that I would prefer not being handled too much, like the silks and the higher end fibers. Not that I'm going to put them in a glass case or anything like that. I just, I have one idea. I don't own one, but the old-fashioned drying racks? That could sit up beside where my table is, and the skeins could be hooked onto there with some kind of hook. So you get a lot of visual for a smaller amount of space. And it's so funny, for all the auctions I go to and everything, I've seen quilt racks, but I've never seen the drying rack like I'm talking about. I say go to, I'm doing it online, but and as soon as I go buy one new, one will pop up. That's the way it works, isn't it? That's the way it works. Maybe there's one cheap on Amazon. You know, Amazon Day and all that. Let me check here real quick while I'm thinking about it. Also said I'd shop for some shirts for hubby. That's one of the things I wrote myself a note because I still need to do that. Foldable would be good. Yeah, there we go. Well, 33 is a bit high. Honey can do. That's a good price, but I think that might take up too much room. Okay, so it's 27 inches wide. What? 2.6 inches high? Oh, that's an interesting way to do it too. Fits in, okay. Boy, I like this. I'm going to get it no matter whether I use it or not. Okay. All right, well, I think I may send a text message to I gotta visualize whether that can sit on a table or if it I gotta see what size card tables are. Okay. The card table is 34 inches by 17 inches by the 2.5 inches is your how thick how thick it is, the actual table. Okay. I'm gonna sneeze. May not be done. I usually sneeze 3 times. And the rack is 6.2. There we go. Deep. 27.9 wide. 2.6 high. I don't know what that means. I don't know what the 2.6 high is. Okay. Sorry, made my nose run now. I'm sneezing. No, I'm not allergic to fiber. It's just that time of year. Probably ragweed. Pollen in the air. Morning, Veggie. Hope you're having a good start to your day. Veggie, I know you're probably working, but I just curious if you're having a good turd of fleece, if you're doing it, if you're spinning for it. I will admit that I have not been. I have been spinning every day and streaming every day, but I have not been posting. Like I have finished yarns and I haven't posted. That's the part I kind of took out of my life for sanity reasons. I have been reading the Cyber Fiber team daily, but not posting. As well as Snoring Cats and JK's. You know, if I get the thing that I just looked at, and it opens upward like a ladder. If you think about that, leaning against, they have a big display case. Um, I wouldn't need a table. I could have that and uh, maybe a basket or two for things that I don't mind Oh, well, the basket being on the floor might not be good. People hate bending over. I might need a little table for the baskets. Real life stuff is impacting it a bit. I probably should have taken a more lax approach this year. I'm halfway done with your goal. Well, that's good. If you're not counting for the spin every day. Okay. I mean, even getting, so yeah, you're doing it, and you had a set amount of fiber that you were, or set fibers you wanted to do, and you're halfway through. That's real good. My talking to myself or whatever comment was just that I am working towards getting ready to do a booth, have a part of a booth in September to sell my handspun yarns, and I'm working on trying to find ways to display those in this booth. That since they are kindly sharing their booth with me and not asking for any kind of money in return, I'm trying not to take up too much space, you know. So, been looking into, since it's Prime Day, yes, Prime Day, last Prime Day, I was looking at a drying rack that you can do the traditional TP, format, but you can also put it straight up so it leans against something like a ladder and hang stuff from it. And have to come up with some kind of hooks, which that shouldn't be hard, that I can hook through a skein tie and then hang the skeins. I like the idea. I am going to text the booth owner and double check with them before I buy it, but hi, Mass Bandit, welcome. Yes, I've got my heads down. I am doing good. Thank you for asking. Just spinning away here. Yeah, kind of stressful but fun. Yeah. I have not vended for years, and when I did vend before, I was vending rabbit angora and not so much my hand spun. So, but the fiber fairs have changed over the years. They were true fiber fairs. People sold fleeces and fibers, and really more than 60% of the vendors now sell yarn, mostly mill spun yarn, not hand spun. Yarn that they buy and dye, a lot of indie dyers, which, that's cool. I mean, I'm glad that the fiber fairs are expanding, because why not bring the knitters in on it? That's, it's yarn. That's our target market in many ways. I haven't got into the anxiety yet of what do I price it. I, you know, I have so much that I know I'm going to underprice it. I just need to clear some of it out of here. I cannot knit it all. There's no way. Oh, did my music stop? Oh no, it's just quiet. Oh yeah, we're on our last song here. I'm gonna scooch it back. Give us some more. Teals or turquoise? You know, one man's teal is another man's turquoise. I don't know, Mess Bandit. I have one unspun fiber, but as far as actual yarns, and what kind of quantity? What kind of quantity are you looking for? And are you looking for knitting or for needle stitching? Because none of my yarn will work for anything unless I specifically spin it for that, and it's really only going to be needlepoint. It wouldn't work for cross stitch or crewel work. So, yeah, kind of depends. But I'll keep you in mind as I'm going through this, and post pictures if I find anything. And the other thing about my yarns, so many of them are not solid color. I use solid colors to ply with, and it gets plied with a variegated multicolor. So that is another point about what I tend to spin. I may have teal-ish yarn, but it's liable not to be solid. Crochet and knitting and shawl quality. Okay. And you like that too. Okay. Well, hang in there with me. I don't have the process really going yet as far as what is sellable, right? I don't consider all of the yarn I make sellable. But sometimes when it's being knit or crocheted into a project anyway, some of those little bumps, thick and thin places, can be okay. It depends on how good you are, or how delicate your need for gauge is. Let's put it that way. How's that for wording? If you're doing something that doesn't have a gauge that you have to follow, then handspun is definitely okay. Handspun isn't always okay if it's requiring a specific gauge. And this is a good conversation, Mass Bandit. I appreciate this because truly this is why I have not sold my handspun yarn yet. And what I'm going to run into when I do set this up in September, knitters are going to come up to me and say, I like this yarn, what can I do with it? And, I have multiple answers, like, if you only want to use that yarn, you're pretty much limited to a cowl, a hat, a small scarf, right? Because my skeins aren't that big. If you want a bigger project, you need other yarns with it. You can mix it with commercial yarn. If you think you have a commercial yarn that looks like it's about the same size, you can mix it with. So all of this conversation has gone on in my head already because I anticipate getting this kind of situation when I put my yarn out there and people pick it up and say, well, I like this. What can I do with it? Right? When you do a shawl, you don't worry about gauge much. That's right. That's the way I feel too. Not like when you do socks or sweaters. Okay, socks for sure. I don't knit with my hand spun. I don't knit socks with my hand spun very often. I've made 2 pairs. Okay. And part of that is because I mostly spin wool. And so you gotta like socks that you hand wash, right? And it's doable, but not something I enjoy. And sweaters is such a huge quantity. When I have when we do Tour de Fleece, and they have competitions, one of the categories is sweater spin, which means a set amount of yarn that should make some kind of sweater, right? They're going to set the amount of yarn that you have to spin for making a sweater. And I've done that twice over the years. And I have those two. I don't want to sell those because I want to make it for me, right? Yeah, that's my problem, is mostly what I end up thinking about selling is stuff that would be a one skein wonder, for a lack of a better way to describe it. In fact, I just may name my business that, Yarn Spinner's Tales One Skein Wonders. Put that on a business card. And if you make shawls, you can put a number of, one skeins together, depending on what you're looking for. Get a mostly solid color as a break in between the others that kind of go with it. But when you knit a shawl, Mass Bandit, are you figuring 500-600 yards of yarn? My skeins are averaging around 300 yards. Gives traveling the elixir sale. That's what I was trying to do. Yeah, absolutely. I guarantee you this yarn will make you feel better. I could even put that underneath the sign too. You've never figured out how many you put into a shawl before? Oh, well, okay. If you buy commercial yarn, do you use one skein? I mean, do you buy one ball? Because, say, ounces. Do you use an 8-ounce ball? Skein, whatever they call those commercial big 8-ounce things of yarn. You just knit till it's gone. And if it's not big enough, you add a border. I love your style, Miss Bandit. I mean, it's exactly what I would do. All right. Well, bottom line is probably there are a lot of knitters like us, and they're going to do the same thing. And if they buy, well, if they have a commercial yarn that's a lovely, aqua color, turquoise color, I may have a skein of yarn that looks good with that, and they can add that as the border. So, yeah, shawls are pretty versatile, adaptable. So are scarves. And a lot of knitters like just, one skein projects. I mean, there's been books written about it. So, yeah. But lately, that's what I used to make. The past years I was spinning. Lately, over the past 3 years, after doing the sweater spin, I have been purposely buying fiber in 8-ounce blocks instead of 4. If I get a braid that's dyed, I get 2 of them. That was the one thing I was going to talk about was, okay, I'm retired. I used to call my fiber and yarn stash my retirement fund. This was back when hubby and I were both working, and the house was paid off, and no more college. That my daughter was out on her own, supporting herself and everything, so no more education expenses that way. And we generally were making a car payment, but that was it. So, very limited debt, pay off credit cards every month. Here is what I would do. I would put money into a true retirement fund, right? And then whatever discretionary income was around, I was buying fiber and fleeces and yarns. And so I have a huge amount of that right now. Because now we are on Social Security. I am not drawing from the financial, I don't have to take any distribution for 2 more years. So that is, I'm just leaving that untouched for 2 years, and we're living off of our Social Security, so we're on a more limited budget. And I'm not buying fiber and that kind of stuff anymore. I'm working through my retirement fund, which is all that stuff I bought while I was working. And it's really kind of cool. I mean, I laugh about it, right? Because hubby just rolls his eyes when I talk about the fact that, he just only remembers me buying all this stuff. He doesn't really think about the fact that I'm not buying it now and I'm using it. But anyway. It wasn't planned either. It just kind of happened that way. And as I looked back on it with hindsight, I realized, yeah, that's what's happening. You do cowls and other small projects. You donate a lot of your stuff. Yeah. When I think about the work that goes into hand-dyed fiber like this, and then hand spun, I like to keep it for gifting or personal use. Donating is really good, and that's what I do with that stash that I bought. When I was just talking about my retirement fund, the yarns especially, because I was buying at yarn sales, and not necessarily getting large amounts. And a lot of it is, a lot of it's sock yarn, and a lot of it is a combination of acrylic and something else, wool. Okay, I'm past my hour, but I am going to spin this little bit that's on my lap, and then I'm going to say that stream is done. Handspun, yes, you'd keep for yourself. It's special. Just make a talk. Yeah, no, I agree. That's what I was just saying. Was when I was doing all this buying, right? I didn't limit myself to stuff for spinning. That was part of it, but I bought a lot of commercial yarn. So tomorrow's Thursday, and I stream normally Thursday evening, so I'm going to stick with that. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'll be doing this. Unless I just truly want to take a break and spin on my electric. I noticed my back was hurting a little bit yesterday. I think it's from sitting here just a little bit forward as I spin. It doesn't hurt today though, so I might have just done something while I was working yesterday. Yeah, hubby's out mowing. I guess the grass dried off. And it must be lunchtime. I've been nibbling on these crackers, but I'm kind of hungry. going to take a quick peek and see. I know I have one left here, but sometimes I spin your mechanic told me to start looking for a new car. Oh no. That is just never in the budget, is it? Oh man. Good luck. Alright. Not too many streaming today. What is Dragon Rider Cat doing? It looks like she's dying. Oh no. Okay. That's... Never mind. That was her tablecloth. Here's one I've never watched. Knitting Nurse. In a leather. Alright. I'm going to turn off the music. I'm going to plug in and listen a little bit here. Anybody know Knitting Nurse? She seems to be, she's got a nice collection of yarn behind her there.
Okay, I'll have to figure this out later. Now is not the time to be buying lottery tickets.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
But that's good to know that I can buy tickets online. Because I don't know how the lottery works.
Oh, yeah. Yours is 23 years old. Wow, Mass Bandit. That's amazing. I know you drive quite a bit. Okay, we're going to go say hello to her. And she's knitting. And I will be... let me go. There we go. Let me do this. There's a raid call. And then raid. So I'll be back tomorrow evening, everybody. Take care. Have a great rest of your day. And let me get this link here. No, I don't need the link. I'm sorry. I need her name. You would think I'd remember how to do this. Here we go. Alrighty. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Good talking to you all. Take care. And I will see you later. Bye.